Boom, baby, we're back. Let's talk fitness. Let's talk fat loss, okay? Let's talk busting fat loss myths. All right, for real. In this video, we're going to focus on busting 3 fat loss myths that I feel like are super prevalent and could be misleading and could potentially stop you and I from progressing and getting better results for our time. And just to be clear, I'm no expert, scientist, Andrew Huberman. I'm trying to put out great content and truthful principles to help you in your fitness and fat loss journey. So with that being said, let's buckle up. Let's get into the 3 fat loss myths. Okay, number 1, I see it a lot, especially today, is that cardio is great for fat loss. The truth is, man, cardio is great for cardiovascular health, for mental health, for dopamine, for endorphins, and just mental clarity, but it is very, very inefficient for burning body fat. The only way to burn body fat is to be in a caloric deficit, which just means simply you are burning more calories than you're actively consuming day to day and week to week. A great example to wrap our heads around this concept is to think about like a great run you went on lately, like 500, maybe 800 calories you burned. Awesome. Great cardio workout for cardiovascular. But think about how easy it is to crush a burger and a milkshake and fries like that and consume 1,000, 1,200 calories, almost doubling what you just burnt. So the point being, cardio is not the most efficient way to burn body fat. In summary, cardio is great for the mindset, great for the cardiovascular health, the endorphins, but just don't look to it to burn body fat. There's a much more efficient way that I'll get into on the last part of the video. All right, number 2, the second fat loss myth that I see everywhere is this assumption that sit-ups or crunches will lead to belly fat loss or belly fat reduction. No one single exercise or movement can ever spot reduce body fat. So if you see something out there where it's like, hey, do this for belly fat loss or belly fat reduction through this or that, through whatever product or workout they're telling you, just know that there's no such thing as body fat spot reduction. The reality is our belly fat tends, belly fat and love handles, those tend to be the last parts of our body that holds on to that stubborn fat. And so the answer and the solution is not to do more like crunches or focus work on your midsection. It's just to be more consistently in a deficit, consistently just slightly lower, burning more calories than we're consuming week to week and day to day. It also should be said that this applies to any movement or exercise or activity. So for instance, cold plunging. I'm a huge fan personally. I cold plunge every single week, if not every day. But if we're not careful, we will major in the minors. We will look to things like supplements or things like cold plunging to give us some crazy return on investment from a fat loss standpoint. And the truth is, it just won't get you the results you want to get. Is it a great supplement? Of course. Can it help, activate more discipline and motivation and consistency? Absolutely, right? I've never said that on camera, but here we are. But just don't look to these activities or exercises or movements to help you reduce a certain amount of body fat or spot reduce fat at all. And the last fat loss myth is related to food, and it's that carbs make you fat. The truth is, carbs do not make you fat. Fat does not make you fat. McDonald's does not make you fat. The only thing that makes us hold on to weight is consuming more than what we're expending. That equals a caloric surplus. So it's very simple. No food group and no macronutrient type actually makes you gain weight. Knowing this might come as a super big relief because technically speaking, you don't need to cut out certain foods or cut out certain carbs. It's just a matter of knowing and mastering, in my opinion, the basic fundamentals of macronutrients and calorie intake where you know for certain like you're in a deficit, you're in a maintenance, or you're in a surplus. For me, I love to help with Live Elevated. Guys, understand this, whether you're a man or woman, understand and give you the tools to achieve fat loss week to week, no matter how you're fueling, no matter what kinds of foods you're eating. Obviously, it should be said that the more real foods, single ingredient foods, protein rich and nutrient dense calories you consume, the better you feel and the easier it is to actually achieve those goals. But it really should be said that carbs do not make you fat. Burgers don't make you fat. Pizza does not make you fat. Pasta does not make you fat. The only thing that makes us hold on to weight is just simply eating more calories than we're actively consuming. Or sorry, the only way that we hold on to fat is by consuming more calories than we're actively expending. So we finally got to the last part where I'm going to give you the simplest way to achieve the fat loss state. So finally, I'm going to share with you the simplest way to achieve fat loss. And it's not by cutting out carbs. It's not by doing a million crunches. And it's certainly not by doing more cardio. It is practicing what I would call the elevated habits. And they're very simply prioritize sleep. Prioritize 7+ hours of sleep to find the rhythm with your central nervous system, with your emotions, with your cortisol levels, and your stress. Prioritize sleep by using an evening ritual, whether it's tea or reading a book, and getting to bed earlier. That will solve a lot of our problems. The second point is to move. Develop and create and embrace a movement lifestyle. So that means for me and maybe for you, it's getting up and going for a walk right away, taking a break midday, taking phone calls on the run when you're walking, finding any little way throughout your day to get daily steps. Clear the head, get out of this and into your body, and develop that like lifestyle of movement. The more you move on a consistent basis, the more you're going to burn fat, and you don't need to just go for a run all the time, go for a 30-minute run. You don't need that as much as developing a movement lifestyle. Next up is strength training. By lifting weights 3-4 times a week, you will build muscle consistently over the months, which then translates to a body recomposition, which means you have more muscle, less body fat, and you'll look better, more energy, more confidence, and overall you'll achieve your physique goals way faster than if you avoided carbs, just did cardio, and did a bunch of sit-ups to spot reduce fat. And the last two, very simply, is protein and hydration. Got to stay hydrated for your body. We are so much made of water, so it's important and essential to fill up on water. And last but certainly not least is the fact that protein is your best friend. If you can fill up on protein, if you can snack on protein and prioritize protein every meal, you'll feel fuller longer. You'll give your muscles what they need to survive and to grow as fuel, and you will be in a much fitter, much more aesthetic, and overall kind of shredded look over time. So I hope that makes sense. I hope it encourages you. I hope it fires you up to practice the simple lifestyle, to not major in the minors, and to really move the needle when it comes to your fat loss journey. If you have any questions, any concerns, anything that didn't make sense, or maybe chances are high that I over-analyzed and over-explained some things and maybe made it more complicated, comment, let's have a dialogue, and then we'll go from there. But I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. And until next video, we'll see you then. Peace.